Hi, grant writing peeps. It is week 3. Things are moving along very quickly, and I want to talk with you about 3 things. First, I want to talk to you about the planning memo. Second, I want to talk to you about project descriptions. And third, I want to talk about the work of the grant. So first things first, the planning memo, as was said on your syllabus, is due this coming Friday, February the 4th. And the assignment is laid out pretty clearly in Blackboard. And basically, it asks you to do 3 things. It's a pretty straightforward assignment. A little bit about yourself, your writing history, what you hope you want to accomplish out of this course. Second is a description of your role in the group grant project and the food bank project for the building, which you should know now. I've sent out multiple emails. There's also info in this week's Blackboard, which is a duplication of stuff I've already emailed. So you should know exactly what you're doing. If not, ask. And third, it asks you to describe the individual project that you're going to be doing for the second half of the semester. I know I've mentioned this before, but there's a whole list of contacts for agencies you can work with. You can work with them, or you can work with an agency of your own choosing. There's a separate video here about choosing your own individual grant project as well. So you need to contact them pretty quickly, find out if they're interested in a student written grant this semester. You need to know specifically what they're doing, not, oh, a grant would be nice, anything's wonderful. That's like me telling you to write a paper and turn it in sometime about something. It's not useful information for you. You need a specific project, and you do need to let them know that you are going to begin working on that grant basically after spring break, second half of the semester. So, and you need to include just quick description of what your individual grant's going to be, and who your contact person is as well. So, and that's due on Friday. And again, it's a grade, it's an important grade, but the most important thing for me is to make sure you understand what you're doing this semester. It's literally a planning memo, planning your work for the first half of the semester with the group grant, and second half of the semester with your individual grant. And if I haven't said this before, the biggest single problem people have with this course is they come back after spring break and they don't have a project to work on, and they wind up really behind. So it's intended as kindness to have you doing this planning memo. Second, project descriptions. You have a good sense of what's going on now with the food bank grant in this building. I've emailed a pretty elaborate presentation created by the food bank. I've also posted a video of the tour we did of the food bank. And fortunately, a number of you, 5 or 6 of you all, came to the actual tour, and it was wonderful to have you all there and meet you all as well. So you need a detailed description of what it is that it's going to do and what the grant's going to achieve as well. I have a couple of samples of shorter grants that are there in the readings for Tuesday, but we're going to be working team A from, groups A from both teams are going to be working on those project descriptions. That's what we're doing right now. And then we're just, we've got teams, we've got specific projects that we're working on. Now, remember, y'all are in 2 teams, Team Green and Team Blue. You're both working on grants for the building, but you're working on separate grants because it's a big dollar amount, like $4 million. We're not going to get $4 million, but we're going to each write grants to get some of that money to add up to the purchase or the purchase price or the cost of that building as well. Each team has a team leader. The team leader is responsible for kind of keeping everybody on track, communicating with everybody, and most important, communicating with Robert. Robert's a busy person. I've got 3 grant writing classes going right now, or there are 3 grant writing classes going. I'm not teaching them all, but we can't have 50 plus people calling or emailing Robert every day. So your team leader will communicate with Robert on behalf of your team. So it means if you have a question, you're a quarterback. If you have a question, contact your quarterback. It's Camille Townsend for Team Blue, and it's Irma Davila for Team Green. So if you have a question, information you need from Robert, contact your quarterback, either Camille or Irma, they will contact Robert, and as soon as they have the information, they'll send it to the rest of the group. So, and we have other people, Stuff Getter, who's assembling all the material that we need to submit the grants, and then each team or each has 4 groups A, B, C, D. They each has specific tasks, and again, those tasks are laid out. I've already emailed them. They're also included at the beginning of this week's folder as well, and so each week has specific tasks they've got to do. Draft one week, final draft the next week, and this week we are working on project descriptions. So again, 2 teams, Team Green, Team Blue, each with a quarterback. The quarterback's role is to keep everybody on track and to communicate with the food bank staff as well. Each team is broken into 4 groups. Each group has a specific task assigned, and each group has a group leader that basically is responsible for making sure that the work is done, turned in. The group leader is not responsible for doing all the work, but they're the person who's going to make sure the work gets posted. So each week, while working on this individual grant, somebody's going to have something to do as well. So this week, we're going to work on project descriptions. So the group leaders for Group A and both teams is going to post by Friday a draft of those project descriptions, and then groups B are going to beginning to work on a needs statement, and you don't have to turn it in, but I have a little bit of directions on how to get started. And your group leader is going to turn in a progress report, basically what you've done to get started drafting a needs statement or finding out about the need for the programs as well. Group C is looking at goals and objectives. Those are described in a little bit more detail in the folder. And the group leader for groups C and Team Green, Team Blue are both going to post progress reports. And Group D is looking at evaluations and budgets. And the group leaders for Group D are going to post a quick progress report about how your group's doing the work. I know it sounds a little bit complicated, but I think I've explained it pretty well if you dig in to the folders and blackboards, and if you read the emails I sent you thoroughly as well. And if you have any questions, any problems at all, just let me know. We're all working, got specific tasks that's part of a larger project. And sometimes it's, well, we're not clear what the bigger project is, seeing the forest for the trees, but I promise we will get the grant written, and I promise we'll do a good job. Can't promise it'll get funded, but I have faith in you all. I have faith that students can produce good work, and perhaps we can make something wonderful happen for the food bank. So that's week 3 in English 4322 grant writing. Thanks.